Hello everyone and welcome to the Speaker Spotlight series for CCW Europe. I'm Kendra Cooper, editor and writer for CCW Digital. So we often hear that traditionally product-centric businesses are evolving their business model for today's experience economy. Even clothing retailers, for instance, are introducing selfie cameras in their fitting rooms and showroom-type experiences. But even service businesses are in on it too. For instance, PostNL, the premier provider of postal services in the Netherlands, started as a traditional mail company. And now that people send fewer letters, their main business is delivering parcels all over the world for e-commerce purchases. And along with that, they've introduced a slew of value-added services, such as furniture assembly and even smart home device installation. I have with me today Mark Eldridge and Verena Junginger from PostNL. So Mark is the Chief Customer Officer for Cross Border Solutions, overseeing sales and customer support strategy, and Verena is the Customer Contact Manager at Spring Global Delivery Services, which is the international arm for PostNL. So in recent years, PostNL has really transformed from a traditional mail business into what you call a logistics service provider. So why was it important to evolve this way?
I think we need to break this down into two markets. So in the domestic environment within the Netherlands, we've really moved away from a traditional letter or mail delivery company into an e-commerce logistics provider. Mm-hmm. And for the obvious reason in the Dutch market, that letters is a dying business. Volumes are dropping. There's no future in letters, put it bluntly. The vast growth area within the Dutch environment, as is internationally, is the logistics around the whole e-commerce boom. And to start with, that's the basic parcel delivery, and we see that innovation within the parcel delivery network is absolutely vital if you're to stay ahead. Mm-hmm. And at the heart of that innovation is the receiver or the consumer that's ordered the item online. They're the real sort of the king in this relationship that we call logistics. And if they're happy, then the web shop that's selling the product to that consumer is happy. Mm-hmm. And then if they're paying our bill, so we're happy. So we have to constantly innovate to make sure that the end consumer, the receiver, is getting the best possible delivery service. And very quickly that starts to broaden into things like making sure your online experience is really good. PostNL in the Dutch market have their PostNL app, which I think is probably the highest downloaded app by the general public in the Netherlands. And then that gives them control over their deliveries, evening deliveries, time deliveries. You can change your delivery in flight. Those kind of things are very important so that the consumer is happy and keeps ordering from the websites. Mm-hmm. And then we start to naturally broaden out into other logistical things. So if there's a big item to be delivered, you need a couple of guys to take that in to the house, maybe a furniture delivery, and then we get into specialised delivery about setting washing machines up and white goods up. And then we've expanded that delivery network into something that we call extra at home, which is really the specialised setting up of things at home for the consumer. Mm-hmm. And then we have a high secure delivery network that deals with high-end products and jewellery and very valuable goods as well. So increasingly we're trying to innovate in the delivery capability, but all the IT and online experience that sits around that as well.
I see.
So it's basically to stay ahead of the competition and survive in this quite very growing market, but also a very competitive market.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And for these value-added services, like for example, installing a washing machine, is that paid for by the e-tailer or by the end user?
The key is to make sure that the paying customer, in this case the web shop, mm-hmm. has the choice of either charging for that delivery to the consumer or offering it for free. So it doesn't. We give the option. So for example, returns is a good one. So when a customer wants to return something, they bought a pair of shoes or some a shirt or something online, and they want to return that. Some of our customers want to make the experience for the return as simple as possible, and they put a label in the box and you can just return it, no problem. Other customers want to discourage returns, so they make the end consumer go online and register for a label, and then the label is sent to the customer so that they can then return the item. And sometimes the web shops will actually make the consumer pay for the return label. So it's all about giving the paying customer, our business customer, the choice.
Yeah, my next question was actually about how, as of Q1 this year, 50% of PostNL revenue came from e-commerce related deliveries. Is there anything else you might want to add as to how this growth has come about? What we see is that the international e-commerce market really is booming. So more and more customers or general public, you and I, will be ordering stuff from a website, and sometimes really don't care whether it's coming from China or from just around the corner, as long as you're getting a good price and a good product. So that's where we step in and organise the logistics to get it across the world. And that business is really, really booming. And I would say that for the international business, we're probably at around 60% of our revenues coming from e-commerce logistics rather than traditional letters now. So it's even bigger on the international side. Yeah, definitely. And Verena, a huge part of your job on a daily basis is firefighting, right? And managing unhappy flows. In the logistics business, sometimes things are out of your control. There's weather, there's logistics, there's all these things. So how do you manage unhappy customers?
Yeah. So like Mark mentioned, we have offices abroad. So we have local teams speaking the local language. So if one of our customers is based in Spain, he would contact the team in Spain. Most of the time, it's about being there to help. It's really saying, give me a call, I can find the right people, or I can help, and arranging that. But we also look at the proactive information. So you mentioned the bad weather, a typhoon in Thailand or something like that. So we also monitor all kind of news, basically, and then inform customers proactively saying, hey, there's bad weather in Thailand. Please expect there will be some problems with delivery. So it's always a thin line, because sometimes you create a little bit of panic, but also giving the good information, saying we expect this, and we will let you know. So just really being giving good information. The e-commerce world is also about transparency. You better tell someone, hey, we have a problem, and then you explain the impact. And also, we've introduced an agile way of working. So we have multidisciplinary teams. So you would have finance, you would have operations, you would have marketing coming together. Hey guys, bring your side of the story, bring your little bit of expertise, and let's make it work.
Yeah. And that's interesting that you mentioned multidisciplinary teams coming together, all in support of the customer. What are some, I guess, innovations or changes that you've made as a result of that, or perhaps customer pain points that you discovered from having these meetings?
Sometimes it might be the complaint creating a change, or the change preventing complaints. So it's both, on both sides. And then also having the constant improvement, aiming for high quality.
Yeah, I was just going to add something on that. Sorry. So we introduced the agile way of working across PostNL over the last couple of years, with the objective of being able to build and innovate much quicker and release innovation to the market much quicker than we could before. And what we try to do with those things, with that way of working, is integrate the CX thinking into that innovation and building. My customer experience team has got a range of skills and expertise and almost like a toolkit that we can deploy in these developments. We've been able over the last, I guess, year or so to integrate more the customer focused and centric mindset into the build teams. So for example, we'll do some customer journey mapping when we're building something to look at the customer journey from the start to the end, and we've tailored that to look at maybe more operational path analysis and understand the key touch points for the customer when we're building something new. If your product that you're developing or the new IT solution that you're developing, we rate it based on 3 CX criteria. That's smart, simple, and smooth. It has to be smart for the customer and deliver what they want. It has to be simple and easily integrated or understood and deployed. And then the last thing, it needs to be smooth. And almost the customer needs to not even notice that we've dropped something new into their logistical chain. Mm-hmm. And then depending on those 3 criteria, it gets a label, a green, amber or red, following the traffic light kind of. And if it gets green, you can go ahead. If it's amber, then you need to make some revisions. If it's red, you're not allowed to implement that change. So, and that's all with a customer-centric kind of way of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Mark, at CCW Europe, you'll also be discussing more of this, the challenges of managing complexity across markets and cultures, especially when the customer is not the end user. So can you give a sneak peek of maybe some of the main points you'll be making?
One of the main things that I want to highlight is that when it comes to international e-commerce logistics, it is pretty complicated. Mm-hmm. And the challenges that we face, or I face as the customer experience officer in this capacity, is to really understand who the customer is, because we work in a B2B-B2C global market. So not only are there international challenges, the end customer, the receiver of the parcel in this case, isn't always the paying customer. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily the customer that pays our bill. So we've got to keep one eye on the receiver, the consumer, one eye on the paying customer, and then you, I suppose, magnify all of those challenges by making it completely international. A Chinese customer is so different to a European customer, is different to a North American customer. And so what we're trying to do is trying to look at the synergies and the standardization and the ways in which we can look for the common themes and the red line themes and maximize those things across the world. I want to talk a little bit about the agile transformation that we've been through, and then the CX transformation that we started on a journey in the international business around 2 years ago, mm-hmm. and to give some experience of what of the things that went well and the things that didn't go so well, so the things that you should copy from us and the things that you should avoid from us. And slowly we're coming to the end of the 2.5 year journey that my team's been on, and I'd just like to share some of those learnings, really, that in e-commerce, transparency across the value chain is absolutely vital. If you do not have transparency, you can't create any value for yourself or your customer. Mm-hmm. And then a cultural shift to making a customer-centric mindset, the way we do things around here, mm-hmm. As part of the DNA of our company, has been one of the main focuses that we've tried to deliver over the last 2.5 years. And it's taken us that long to get almost to where we want to be. And some of the tools that we've used along the way, like customer journey mapping, like prototyping and co-creation, communication of change, making sure our customer service quality is up to speed, providing the right customer reports, and steering the company on a CX dashboard rather than just financial results. Mm-hmm. So there's quite a lot to share, actually.
Yeah, sounds like it. So just one more question before we wrap up, and Verena, this might be more for you, but Mark, feel free to jump in. PostNL has done a lot to digitize the customer experience, but the company maintains that delivering is a human job. Why is this important?
PostNL, again, it's in the domestic market in the Netherlands and in Belgium. Our parcel delivery guy who sees the people, because he will ring the bell, he will open, the lady will open and he will give her a parcel. So it's really important that this guy has a friendly attitude and he's happy to help. So we also introduced a concept explaining to the delivery guy, saying, hey guy, you're the most important. You're our business card. You are seeing our customers, because I never see the customer, the receiver, or whatever. A lot is online, so we send emails, we are on the phone.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I can't help. Sorry, I can't help myself. What we like to say is that we work with the local heroes. So we position all of the delivery companies that we use, whether they're owned by us in the Netherlands and Belgium by PostNL, or we work with partnerships around the world. We try and pick the highest quality delivery companies, and the ones that the receiving customer feels most comfortable with. I mean, in quite a lot of countries, that will be the local post office. It will be the local postal service. In other countries, it might be a courier service, but we choose what we call the local hero delivery company to work with. And we're very careful about how we select those partners based on the quality and the cost. And ultimately, it's the receiving customer's delivery experience that counts for a lot. And as Verena says, we try to influence that through KPIs and service level agreements. But within the Netherlands and then within Belgium, we pay a lot of attention to the detail of our delivery guys, and we make sure that they know their stuff. They're equipped with the right technology, they have the right training, and they take pride in the work that they do, because we do almost see it as a social kind of interaction that we have with our customer when the delivery guy is knocking on the door with a parcel. It's a special moment, and we want to create that for the consumer.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Mark and Verena, for taking the time to talk with me today. And we look forward to seeing you both at Customer Contact Week Europe on October 7 to 10 in Amsterdam.